Hello. Hello, hello. I just realized I need to make sure I have this game downloaded. My bad. Um... Wait, there's a friend's pass? Do you buy one and then let a friend play for free? What is this? Huh? Wait, did Joel already buy it? Maybe I don't have to buy it. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, then I'll just install the entire game without buying it and then use the friend's pass? I guess that's how it works. Interesting. Happy St. Patty's Day. Yeah, you as well. Oh my god, I have to text my dad. Sorry, that reminded me. I have to text my dad. I have to text my dad. He's making soda bread. And not like that one with the shit in it that people try to like make good, like the shitty one. The real one that's just like a little better than hardtack. And I love it. I need to find some time to go visit him because the spot he lives in, I have to like it's not a large trip, but it's large enough that I'd rather just stay a night and not have to travel back. It's not even like far, it's just the traveling itself would be very annoying route wise. But I keep having like my weekends keep getting booked up. And I keep not having like for months I do not have any 2 day spans to spend anywhere. Months, dude. I've always have something I've got to do at some point on Friday. So I like alt stream until that thing, or I do that thing beforehand, and then I've always got something I've got to do Saturday, or like one or the other. So I'm like, ugh. I've just been trying to find a 2 day span, and it's been months. And I'm like, I would like to go see my dad, you know, like, ugh. Yeah, vacation time. I really should just take a week at some point, but like right now, I have so much shit. Ugh, crack that. I have so much shit I'm doing in the background right now. There's just I cannot even begin to explain. There's so much that I'm doing. And I'm like, fuck. Even if I'm not streaming, like honestly, my time that I spend streaming, especially on like alt and stuff, that's my free time. And this should be like my work, but that's my free time. You know? So I'm like, ugh. It's been like this for months, but this month especially, past like couple weeks, has been just so much time spent. It's been crazy. So I'm hoping to get like a 2-day span. There's part of me, so next week we're on Survival, which is Andy Jones doing a clone of the show Survivor. And while I'm gonna try to win, part of me hopes my character gets voted off, and then I take the rest of the week off and I just go like do something. But I know myself, I'll probably just do normal streams. I fucking know myself. And I have a Block Wars next Saturday, so I can't do that Friday, Saturday off or something. So I'm just like, oh. But yeah, we're having a good time next week, so we'll see. Hold on, let me finish texting him, then I'm good. Honestly, I could go see my dad on weekdays. He's currently retired, so you know, I really could. Also, I want to note something that is so funny. My editor was talking about like clips that do really well. In December, we have a clip that we posted of me, and it's called VTubers that have PhDs, and it's me just talking about like how a lot of VTubers that I know actually do have like good levels of education stuff, and like people are always like, oh, streamers are people that like barely finish high school or enter college and left and whatever. But actually, like, I know a lot of VTubers that have great degrees and stuff, right? So it's just that clip. And this is December 13th, okay? My editor says, next one should be VTubers that own houses. Scroll all the way down to now. One of my other editors replies to that comment yesterday and goes, Mad Lad predicted it, and shows a picture of like, I have a clip called The New House Problem, and it's like my top performing clip as far as how many views it got in a short time. and he's like, you called it 4 months ago. It's so funny. That's so fucking funny. You watched that one? Everyone did, because it got like several thousand views like within the first very short bit. It doesn't always mean that those things will lead into that being like a long-term, always getting views kind of clip, but you know, you could see how it does in the first like 2 hours, and that's really telling of like if it's good, how it did in general. And this one, like, you know, popped, so it's just funny. It was just really funny. I love that. I love that. Anyway, sorry, I was up super late. I was on a call that included people on the other side of the world. So I was staying up to do that. And I went to bed super late. And I woke up at a time that made sure I got enough sleep-ish, but then I also had a meeting earlier. I had a meeting immediately past. I hung up phone, get ready for bed, sleep, wake up to alarm, eat food during meeting about same shit, you know? It's just like, oh my god. It's like never ending. Oh my god. Oh man. Yesterday's marathon and repo was a gift. It was fun. I was glad we were able to drag people in. At first I was like, you know, if I just have to pull in my friends, I have a lot of different friends, but for the people that I can just message and go, yo, join this right now, it's very specific people. And I had Henya, and I was like, I hope she'll have fun, but I know her, and she's said to me before, she's like, yeah, I really do want to meet, like, new people that are different from those I usually do stuff with, but, like, I don't reach out. She was, like, you know, very clear, like, I'm nervous, and I don't do that, but, you know, especially people that are different from, like, the norm for me, like, I would like that. And I was like, all right, I'll ask first, but I'll let you know. And so I just dragged in a bunch of my friends. She had fun with everyone. Yeah, she did. She had a lot of fun. She's nervous, but she have fun. Yeah, exactly. Well, I have a lot of friends like that, right? Like you drag people into collab groups and they need a minute, but once they interact a little, they realize it's totally fine. She even said last night how happy she was to meet new people. Yeah, she's expressed it to me quite a lot. She's just like, TLDR, she's not gonna facilitate that herself, and she knows that. So she just hopes it happens to her. So I'm like, okay. The BBW thing had me fucking crying. Laughing. Oh my god. Yeah, the introvert friend who needs an extrovert to drag them in is happy when dragged but won't instigate themselves. Yeah. More interactions with Garrick. Garrick is like the most, and I mean this in a good way, the most lukewarm friend I can drag into any collab because he can match people really well. And he knows what role he's gotta play. So like, he's like, it's Women's Month. I am the punching bag. He just shows up and he's like, guys, I'm scared. He's like my most inoffensive friend, you know what I mean? Like, I can just drag him into anything and it'll be fine. Peter, you're always a wild card. I'm like, he's gonna say some shit. It was so funny though. What a good collab though. I had fun. We have repo again tomorrow. No, sorry, Wednesday. I'm very mild mannered. Okay. Depends, buddy. We have repo Wednesday. So far, it's just 5. It's me, Neutron, Kitty, who I dragged in yesterday, Tony, and Zatark. So that's gonna be a fun as fuck lobby. I did mention to Tony today. I was like, yeah, we don't have a 6th, and he was like, oh, I might have one. I don't know who he's thinking of, but we'll see. Still wild that Mata was a long lost friend of Garrick. Yeah. She told me that a while back. She was like, hey, you're friends with this person. I think I've known them for a very long time. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, because a lot of my streamer come from the same circles from like 100 billion years ago. And I keep finding out that everyone I know already knew each other. My stream tags are gone? Huh? No, I have to remember what they were. Oh. Okay, Shoujo. VTuber. Groceries. Corn. It's shit. Evil. I don't need evil on there. They already know. It's shit. Millennial. Well, I'm not a millennial. I'm too old for that. Finance. What else was in my tags? It Blazing is super cool in there too, I think. Blazing Sodom. Enter. Girls of Sea. Yes. I think I had it in the tags. Okay. Finance. I'm not asking for new tags. I'm asking for what was there, guys. This is not a suggest tags to put on the stream session. This was not the implication at all. The implication was that I want to know what I had on there previously. Yeah, groceries is on there. We have English, VShoujo, VTuber, groceries, corn, Girls of Sea. Oh, we had the no pixel tag. I've been leaving it on because it gets people to find this and then see that I also have the alt channel. And to find that there. Yeah, I think evil was in here. Okay. It's good enough for now. Hey, don't backseat my tags. It's over. It's done. It's done. I was asking for you to recall information, not to give me new. Okay. All good. Hey, thanks for the prime. Thank you for that. Oh, no, vaccine tag. Well, that too. But at the same time, I still mean it. I still mean it exactly what I said. I don't think we need to put it in the tags because I think we adjusted it so it's in the little rules thing. Doesn't it just says it in the rules? I don't need it in the tags. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, so we're good. So we've got... I keep thinking someone invited me to something for tomorrow. But then as I look around, I can't find anything where anyone's trying to get me to do something tomorrow. So now I'm like, was I crazy? Or did someone say something and it didn't, like, actually work out that way or happen that way? I don't know. GTA related. Maybe. I'm just gonna default to hang out with the same 3 friends. Until someone tells me that there's something that needs to happen, and then I'll be like, oh shit, you're right. Anyway, late tonight, I also have... Hi, no, thanks for joining us here, by the way. Tonight, I might do... Probably not on my own stream. It's, like, gonna be late night. At some point, TJ and Barky are gonna play Sons of the Forest. They've just been playing it a bit, and I'll probably just hop in. So if I see them doing that, we can go do that. So I think at the end of today's stream, I think we will raid... Probably, we've raided on, like, with the main channel, I've raided TJ. For anyone who doesn't know her, great role player and plays on No Pixel, plays CJ, who I hang out with a bunch now when I'm on the alt stream. And I just want to support her. She's just great. I don't think we've raided Barky, though, with main, so maybe we'll do that today. He'll probably be a little overwhelmed because it's a lot of people. Whether it's a normal day, whether it's like a crazy high day, whatever, he'll probably be a bit overwhelmed, so we'll just be normal. I'm telling you guys now because the people who are here right now tend to be like a lot of the regulars. And the regulars tend to drive how people act, you know, like, that's just how it is. We'll just be normal. He's a nice, emotional guy. Very good people, very good people. But, the type of person, if you give 20 subs, will be like, holy fuck. You don't have to, you know? like it's a big deal kind of thing, you know? Okay. I was checking with Joel on what time we're starting actually here. He said 5:10 or 5:30 EST for split fiction. Okay. Good with me. Good with me. Okay, sorry, we've been on Search Student for 100 years. Good with me. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So we got some time. We got like an hour and a half to just chill. Was the Repo Club Wednesday gonna be tomorrow initially? Maybe. that was definitely Wednesday. And we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Message barking now, so I'm on his thing too. Okay. Ever meet a guy so nice that you know Osiris is ready to send his ass to the field of reeds? What do you mean? So nice? No. I mean, yeah, there are people that I've met where like I'm just instantly like, this is good people. Right? These are good people. But I always assume that no matter how great or nice someone is, like, you know, no one's infallible. But also, when people are like really good, instantly, I'm like, wow, that's a really good person. I'm always immediately sus. A little bit. I'm like, are they genuinely this good, or is this performative? And it doesn't have to be, it could be performative with good intent, not performative with bad intent. But I don't like when people are performatively good, even if their intent is good. Does that make sense? So there's some people that are, they feel the need to do things and be a certain way to appear good because they're a people pleaser, or because they feel like this is their character that they're assuming. I need to make sure everyone knows I'm a good guy. So I'm gonna, you know, be very nice. I'm gonna be very gentle. I'm gonna, you know, and to me that always, there's always something underlying, not that's bad, like they're gonna hurt people around them, but like either they're insecure or they've got something going on the way they see the world. They think you need to do anything performatively. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's about appearances, and or sometimes it's not even about appearances. It's like it's a reassurance thing for themselves. They have to prove to themselves, I'm a good guy, you know? So I'm always like, when someone's like really, really, really strongly pushing like behaviors to show that they're a good person, I'm like, okay. It doesn't always mean, again, that I think that they're actually bad or anything like that. It's just like, what are your motivations? What are your motivations? Like, why are you doing this, you know? So, I don't know. Sprinkle in some toxic traits. No, not toxic traits. Just like being unabashedly yourself is better. Would self-doubting their goodness help you feel more comfortable with their morality? I don't understand what you're trying to ask me here. Self-doubting is when someone... Oh, well, you're saying would them doubting their own goodness help me feel comfortable with their morality? Yes, maybe. But no. No, actually no, because again, it's performative. It's not about what's on the inside. It's about what they give me. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. Had a roommate who was like that and always came off fake. Yeah, I think when you have a negative thought, you should let it out. I think when you have a thought that's a bit more realistic and not very optimistic, you should say it. It's okay. It's all right. Right? It's all good. I'm a bit more like that. I don't know, maybe I'm just too stern, but I think people should just be like that. You have a better time living. I don't know. Why can't people be straight up evil? Yeah, I mean, being self-aware and not making other people uncomfortable is also a great thing. You know, I don't think people should be bad to each other, but like, there's a lot of people being a little too, I don't know, a little too much with the, you know, I'm a good person. I find it comes up in like moral questions a lot when talking about morality. People are like, I don't know, they just get really strongly opinioned on certain things, and then as they're talking, I'm like, do you really feel this strong, or are you making sure I know you feel this strongly, right? Like, is this for me? Or like, what? It always gets a little weird. A little weird. What the fuck did you say? I'm happy being an asshole, but the type of asshole that wears aviators and a leather jacket. You sound like a dude who's 63 and like still listens to Guns N' Roses. They got my order wrong at McDonald's. I almost jumped over the counter and punched that guy in the face. I am unabashedly myself. Hell yeah, brother. What's wrong with Guns N' Roses? Nothing wrong with them. It's just picture that whole thing, right? Close your eyes. Close your eyes and just like imagine that guy, okay? Close your eyes. There's a guy standing there, leather jacket, aviators. Loves Guns N' Roses. Already you can imagine it, right? You could see him. Yeah. Yeah. You know that guy. You know that guy. You know, he sounds like a lot of people you know. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of that dude. I know you all know at least one of them, right? At least one. You probably know like 5 of them. For sure. And he's either a biker or just a guy with a truck or something that likes thinking that maybe he could have been a biker one day. Billy Badass. Yup. They're all at your work? No. I mean, I've known a lot of people like that. And I gotta say, it's such a 50-50. Like, dude with aviators and a leather jacket. It's been 50% of the time total asshole, you know, I love America and fuck everyone else kind of like personality type. And then the other half, nicest person, morally righteous, looking to help people out. It's like you can't look at someone who looks like that, has that kind of motif, and like guess what kind of person they are, because I've experienced both like half the time, you know. At least in my experience, I felt like I could never judge off of that. There's certain looks where like a lot more of those people, when they dress a certain way or like carry themselves a certain way, you're like, yeah, this person's probably an asshole. But with that, I don't know, it's been a total 50-50. Can't guess. Can't guess. You see him with the Ramones t-shirt. Yeah. They also wear their band t-shirts. My dad was always a dude who did like rock and roll in general, but he wasn't like that much of a music guy. But he did always have a motorcycle, but not like a Harley. He always had like a proper sport bike or like something that was just like, what's the best one? Not what looks good, not what sounds good. What's like the best one? Just for the ride of it. He always had one because when you're trying to get places in a city and you're trying to drive a car, it fucking sucks. But if you got a bike, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. Traffic jam, everyone's stopped, and you're like, yeah, I just want to get to the exit though. You can just go and just go. So he always had one. Very convenient. Very convenient. And so like people always had an impression of him that he was like a motorcycle guy, but he kind of wasn't. He didn't like care about it like that, you know? But also like he looks tough. Okay, my dad looks like he eats like raw eggs and nails. So, you know, like rusty nail raw egg smoothie each morning. So I think I get where it comes from when people would look at him and be like, I think that guy kills people. I think he eats people every day. You know? I get it. And then he would also drive a bike somewhere and people would be like, oh God. Oh God. But he's very nice, actually. He'd cereal without any milk. No, he loves milk. He would always buy whole milk and he'd drink it. He'd have a gallon that was marked as his and he'd just drink the fucking gallon. And he'd be like, it's good fats. It's good fats. And I'm like, okay. He would always do that. Yeah, glaunch. Crazy with it, crazy. Yeah, he would get into the salty spittoon. For sure. But he doesn't sound scary. He actually has like a little bit of a softer, like nicer voice. he can sound scary, like he's capable of it, but his normal demeanor is actually very similar to mine. Actually, I speak more assertively than he does with my tone. In other words, we're saying similar, but he'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? Yep, gonna go down to work and see what's going on." Like, he honestly just talks a lot like me. Yep, just gonna go down to this thing. All right. His accent is different from mine though, but oh man, I gotta get him playing a game with me, or like in a clip or in a video or something at some point. Is he interested in urban planning? Incredibly uninterested. He loves to, like, if we're riding around, he'll point out every little thing. Like, he knows every building, what every building used to be, who used to work in there. Oh, there was this shop, and this guy's brother used to own it, and then blah, blah, blah. Like, he's one of those people that just knows everything about, like, every place, and we'll drive anywhere in the fucking city, and he's like, yeah, so there used to be a gym in the basement of that building there. We used to go and something. And I'm like, what? Okay. So I pick up a lot of this because of him. I just absorb it, and I'm like, okay. So now I drive around, and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy used to, you know, because he'll intro to me at like fucking everybody, you know. He's one of those, for sure. It's his G-themed name. Oh, I'd have to come up with one. Geek Dad. I don't know, man. This here used to be all farmlands. Yeah, no farmland in this area, but yeah. Every street's full of memories. Yeah, but he was like a little bit of a baddie sometimes. He'd be like, yeah, that's where I got burned. Like, he'll point out a bush. Be like, that's where I got second-degree burns all over my legs. He's the one who got the skin grafts. That's my dad. Oh, man. He'll point that out. He'll be like, oh yeah, there was this whole thing. There was this fight between this group and that group here, and you know, that's when whoever's brother died. And he'll just like point out a corner and be like, yep, right there. And I'm like, why don't we just point out the business it's at and be like, yep, that used to be that pizza restaurant or something. And so he's like, oh yeah, that's where Schmitty died, you know. And I'm like, okay. Always. This is where that one guy jumped that other guy and started a whole thing, and then they had a falling out. It's every time. Every fucking time. Sounds like your dad, when you ask him for directions, he'll tell you to go next to a building that hasn't existed for 20 years. Yeah. No, my dad's very good with doing street names. He'll point out a landmark or something. He'll be like, make a right at the whatever. But he'll be like, go on north on this street, make a right at the whatever, and then you'll go east on this street. Like, he's like that. He's like that. I attribute my ability to remember where things are really well, like geographically, to him. Because ever since I was young, he would always do that. And he would have me be the navigator half the time. Back in my day, we had paper maps, okay? And you'd be driving somewhere, and you'd need to find a spot. And you'd have a paper map, and you would know, like, the address. So you'd have to open the paper map, know generally what neighborhood it's in, go look at that neighborhood, find the street name on the paper map, and then decide a route to it. And he used to make me do that all the time. Your mom always gives directions like it's on the southmost side of the northmost road. Yeah, I do cardinal directions for what side it's on. 49. Hi, Garwick. 49. Appreciated paper maps much later in life. I miss them. Yeah, I try to go places without my GPS a lot. Or I mean, it's a lot easier in the city when you're like walking, or you're taking a train or whatever. You can take the train, you know it's on 50th Street. You can take a train to 42nd Street and then walk north to 50th. You know, like, that's not so bad. But I've done that with a lot of other mapped out areas where all of the street names are just normal street names. They're not numbered, and that is just fucked. That is fucked. Map quest. I don't really miss it. I just think it's something everyone should be able to do, kind of like how they make every kid Actually, I don't know if they do it nowadays, but they would make every kid learn how to read a proper clock, an analog clock, and then you just use digital clocks after that. But they would make sure every kid knew how to read an analog. I think stuff like that is important, right? I see paper maps as the same thing, just to understand, like, you're in an area, it's broken down by their street names and their little neighborhoods, and there's the whole name of the entire town, and, you know, kind of just make kids do things like that. It's good for them. It's good for them. People unable to read a clock blows your mind. I understand if it takes you a second because you don't look at analog clocks very often. That's okay if you just sit there and count and be like, is that on 2 or 1? Like, you know, like, that's totally fine, okay? That's totally fine because that's a practice thing. But to be unable to figure it out is crazy. Everyone should be taught. Everyone should be taught. And, like, I always wear a watch. Okay? I've always had a watch on all the time. It's a normal clock. Got hands that go around, you know? So I've always been used to it. And I would have friends all the time be like, yo, what time is it? And I wouldn't know. I would just, like, hold the wrist up, right? So that they could see the clock. They could see the watch. And they would just be like, I don't know what that means. They'd be like, so what is it? And I'm like, oh. And I have to look at it and be like, it's 2:45. No. 2:45. Like, I would always say stuff like that too. I'd be like 2:45, and they'd be like, so that's like 2 what? And I'm like, 2:45. A quarter of 60 is 15. It's not hard. I don't know. Yeah, 2:75. It's 2:75 p.m. I don't know. Tell me Common Core skipped clocks. I don't think they skipped it. I think they just went over it really briefly, and once kids demonstrated they could do it in, like, 1st grade, they never brought it back. I don't know. 2:25 p.m. Yeah, I mean, you could say it's 2:25, or you could say, like, 25 past 2. It all works. Never like people just saying quarter till. I like it because a lot of the time when I'm asking what time it is, it's because I have something at 3. I know it's vaguely somewhere between 2 and 3. And somewhere close to 2:45 is when I should start walking to a place that I need to be, right? Very much when you're on, like, that I'm going to meetings all the time mentality. So for me, that way of speech actually works very well. But right, if you're anticipating the top of the hour because there's something related to that, it makes sense. But I don't say it like that if we're not expecting something. So if I'm sitting with someone and I know, like we said, yeah, around 3 we'll both leave, and they're like, what time is it? I'd be like, yeah, 2:45, basically being like, we have 15 minutes is what I'm implying. But if we have no reason for them to be asking, they're just asking, then I might say 2:45. Does that make sense? I don't know. I always did it like that. Just, is situational, right? Saying something like that is a prerequisite to be a boomer. No. Forget people actually measure distance via travel time. Yeah, because, you know, going 10 minutes down a highway versus going 10 minutes on local roads with stop signs and things like that, you cover very different distances in the same amount of time. So it makes sense to me. It does. Lee, hello. They give the raid. Welcome on in. Hope stream was good. What was he doing today? Is he gonna join? Lee, I don't know if you're gonna join the next Block Wars. I have one on, what? Is it the 29th? Let me see. They just put me in a group chat with my, I know Lee usually does them. They just put me in a group chat with my team. They just did. With the 3 colored things at the top, they're the 3 factions. If you go to the Discord, you pick one, and then stuff that you do on the stream and in the Discord, etc., gives you points toward your faction. That's what that is. That's what that is. Block game. Yeah, I don't know that they've announced. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't announced the teams yet, but I will say Um, we have one Minecrafter, okay, one guy who I've teamed up with before that I know pretty well, who I'm comfortable with, everything great, who is like a good Minecraft player. And then me and 3 other people that I'm just friends with. It's just a team of me and my friends plus a dude who's good at Minecraft. Yeah, John Minecraft is gonna be on our team. It's gonna be a good time. Minecraft. Garrick, you would love Block Wars, unironically. It's actually so fucking fun. If you ever want an invite or like any of the friends, the streamer friends want to like get into this sort of thing, just let me know. It's so fucking fun. It's just Minecraft, they have their custom server that they made that like is run automatically like an event. They have a bunch of mini games that they're constantly changing and balancing. And what you do is you just do a bunch of these mini games in a row and get points and see who wins. And they balance it with each team is at least one person who's like damn near professional Minecraft player, right? Like they are a streamer for it, they're a content creator for it, they play in like all these competitive things, and they're really good. And then they see how people perform in general, and they throw you into like as balanced a team as they can. And yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. Block Wars is well executed. It is actually, out of all events I've been invited to, like streamer events, this is the best run one. Unironically, this is the best. Everything from how the broadcasts and the streams go and like the actual Minecraft server and how the mods are made, down to how they handle the scheduling and all the stuff that they do in the server. Like everything that they do with the organization behind the scenes is great. They have like standardized graphics that they post every time to their Twitter. Everything's just set up to be plug and play. It's very good. They're just a couple of members of staff that have to do the work all the time, and it's really just a couple of them. I don't know, it's really nice. I really liked our team last time. We had Lee, but we also had Wolfie, Joel, and Boosfer. Boosfer was really fun. I like Boosfer. We don't have him this time, though. We have someone coming back that we had on our team when we won one of the other times, so I'm excited. A lot of dev time into automating most of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But their operations are just good, so I was going to ask them at some point if, like, I could run some sort of event, and if they have devs available to help with a thing to make some sort of Minecraft-based event thingy for me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna ask them. This is not a real curse. Yeah, you'll see who the team is, but it's me and 3 friends of mine, and then a Minecraft player. So I'm fucking excited. It's gonna be good as hell. I love Block Wars, man. I love it so much. And then I'm trying to get something locked down. Mike was trying to reschedule. We were gonna do That's My Streamer. And that should be soon. So I'll wait for him to announce when he's sure that we can reschedule it. But yeah, it didn't work out last time because two of the 3 contestants like just could not do it. It's like Zen was having whatever her issue was, like a, I want to say medical thing, I can't remember. And then Heavenly had his internet and his power just completely out. So, you know, so that should be the weekend after. So we have 2, or not the weekend after. That should be next to one of the Block Wars weekends. So we'll see. We'll see. Cool to see you team up with Simple Flips one time. It was not on my bingo card. I love him too. He was so fun. He was so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna request teammates. I never request teammates. I'm gonna start requesting to be teamed with some people again because they were fun as hell. I really liked being teamed with Feinberg actually. He was one of the most fun teammates we ever had, and he was screaming fucking the skibbity toilet strat. Okay, when we were doing what's the game, Blitz Hunt, where it's the hide and go seek one, right? So we're playing hide and seek, and there's one of the randomly generated rooms that looks like giant Minecraft skibidi toilet, right? And he was like, guys, there's a new room. There's a skibidi toilet room. We gotta do the skibidi toilet strat. And I'm like, you just keep saying this. And what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? And then we found the new skibidi toilet room that they added. It's finally spawned in. And he started screaming. He was like, it's a skibidi toilet. Like, he found like gold, you know? He was freaking out. Oh, he was tweaking so hard. It was so funny. It was so funny hearing him just absolutely shriek about skibidi toilet in Minecraft. Oh my god. I was dying. Absolutely dying. I was thinking, you know, if we do another Minecraft server, I might talk to some of them and see if some of them want to join. I don't know if they want to, but like, even for a day or two, just to go on adventures or something. It could be fun. It could be really fun. It could be really fun. We'll see. We'll see. This is the first time for Zen on... That's my streamer? Yeah. Yeah, Mike's show. That's my streamer. Yeah, I don't think Zen has been on it. Myself and Heavenly have. I was on... Who was on my episode? It was me... Was it Nags and Joel? I think it was me, Nags, and Joel. Which is who we're collabing with today, is Joel. But our episode was so fucking funny. Oh, no, it was Mel? Was it Mel? Or are you saying Mel has been on there? I think Mel was on the episode after me, right? I think she was the... Was she the next one or like 2 episodes later? I can't remember, but it was... Her episode was really funny too. I hope she goes back on. It was so fun. So fun. Nax was having a meltdown because his team was playing. Yeah, Mel Heavenly Bricky was the other one. Yeah, what a fucking lineup, dude. Oh, man. So funny. So fucking funny. But yeah, that show's great. Mike puts so much effort in. I mean, he takes it seriously. He doesn't just say, I'm gonna get a background, I'm gonna throw some shit together, I'm gonna do it. He's got, like, you know, some of his mods helping source people for it. He's got entire people part of his team, you know, he puts his own money and time into this. So much work to get it functioning. And when you see that end result, you might be like, oh, that doesn't seem like that bad to put together. But it is so much time to get it to be that production level and to work out like that. So, yeah, hats off to him. He really, he whole asses that show. He does. Yeah, you like the questions. That's why it's hard for him to, like, sub people in, though, because he makes the questions really specific to the contestants. So if someone can't make it, like, they have to pivot, but that can be really tough. So that's why last time when we couldn't do it, he was like, should I find people? I was like, honestly, you shouldn't. You should keep the lineup, try to postpone it, reschedule it, and just leave it like that, you know? That's just what's best. So. Yeah, it's really personalized. Exactly. I think it's better that way. Honestly, I think it's better that way. But it takes a lot of time. So even if it's a shorter stream, you're thinking like, oh, it's cool because I'm just streaming for a couple hours. The amount of time you have to put in to prep this stuff, it's like doing a giant 12-hour stream, except it's more stressful. It's more stressful. That's why a lot of streamers don't do that, to be honest. A lot of them say, like, streaming is easier than YouTube. Streaming is easier than events. It really is. You could do fuck all on stream, and it still works. It's crazy to me. I remember I watched a video where a bunch of people... I think Peter Park was in that video. I watched a YouTube video where it was like OTV and some friends were standing around, and they drew lines on the floor. There's like a neutral line, and then there's agree and a disagree line. It's one of those kinds of videos. And they'll ask a question, and then all the people in the room go and stand on the side they're on, or like right down the middle, and then explain why. And one of it was a lot of streamer questions. I was laughing because one of them was like, streaming is easier than YouTube, and they were all like, yep, and they all went there. I think the only one who didn't, I want to say maybe it was Blau, and he's like, it depends on what you're doing, which is true, but I was laughing. I was laughing so hard. They asked the age-old question of, was it 100 Thieves video? I don't know. A lot of people do that format. I actually wanted to get some of our members to get into 3D to do one of those together, but It's a little weird when you're not like meeting up in a studio to film something like that. Like if you're green screening yourselves, it's really finicky. It's really fucking finicky. And doing it without what's the word? Doing it without having the same 3D environment set up in a way where you can make sure your camera angles are the same and like all the depth, everything, there's no fisheye. It just looks really uncanny when you try to put it together. So I was like, maybe we don't do it in 3D. I have ideas. I have ideas, but we'll see. We'll see. Hi, Nucky. Nucky, come here. Meow. Come here. Tell the people everything they wish to know. Nucky, meow. You hear him? He's spitting, he's spitting. Yeah, he has much to say. Wow. How about that? Look, come here. Do you want to sit on my lap? Or you just want attention? Yeah, he just wants attention. He's gonna like run away now. Yep. Yep. He's in a mood. Woke my cat up. Sorry. Too bad. Too bad. My son had much to say. How old is he? Older than 7. I don't remember exactly what. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember. Not super old though. He's like, assuming things go well, he's probably like halfway through, you know, on average. Somewhere around halfway through. So he's considered like, oh, you know what? He's like older than me because he's technically a senior, which they start calling them a senior, I think around like 9 or 10. He technically is, and it just means that their body's in a state where they have certain dietary needs and it's not as much as others, and they're not like crazy active, but he's not like living life like an old man. He doesn't act, you know, like that at all. But they classify them as senior because their nutritional needs change. So yeah. Yep. Your mom's cat's 13. Vet told her she probably still has 11 years. Yeah, they cats tend to go anywhere from like 15 to like 25, to be honest. It really just depends on how they're doing. Positive thoughts. Yeah, I've had before Nucky and Wolfie, my last cat, he lived until, I'm trying to think. Hold on. I think he was like 18. 17 or 18 when he passed. I think he lived until around there. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm hoping he goes for a very long time. We'll see. You know. You can never tell though. You can never tell. Yeah, 17, 18 is pretty good. I know a lot of cats pass around like 15 to 20. So he was chilling. Partners ever had one live past 12? It really depends on the cat. Yeah, it really depends. But yeah, so I have him. And then Wolfie's just a couple years younger than him. Just a couple. So they're both very similar in age. I feel like at some point, if they start getting like older, there might be a point where I do get a kitten. Just to keep them active, you know what I mean? Like if I'm not actively keeping them active, I think there's a point where it is very good for them. Having a younger cat around an older cat tends to keep them, you know, a lot more spry. So I think I would consider that later. His name's not Lucky, it's Nucky. But yeah, I would consider that, but not really looking to get a third cat. Like, I don't want to own three, but seeing as I have two that are just a couple years apart, for both of them it might make sense to do that. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not anytime soon, though. I'm not looking to take care of a third. I love them and I would love to have more, but like, I wouldn't spend enough time with the two that I have if I had a kitten, you know? Can never go wrong with a Siamese kitten, chatty, active, and very social. Siamese has nothing to do with their personality, really, unless it's like the full-bred Siamese, because it could be Siamese pattern, but not actually be a Siamese cat. Depends, but also I will never get a cat for the breed that it is, ever. I just yoink them. I just yoink them, man. You're also really active with fostering, if I'm not misremembering. I wasn't super active with being a foster myself. I did foster cats a couple times. But I was not an active foster usually. Instead, I was working for a group that did something like that, but I was doing the cat rescue part. So I was like, you know, going to a train yard, right? Or going to like a shipyard or something where they have a cat problem. They have too many and they keep reproducing, and I'm going in and trapping and getting them neutered and spayed, deciding which ones can be brought in and which ones cannot, getting them into the foster programs, and then getting them adopted out. That was the kind of stuff that I did. I did foster, but not a lot. Not a lot. I was more so on the other side of that. Sorry, I keep looking over because my cat's staring at me. But yeah. Yeah, yoinker. Exactly, because, you know, a lot of them, you yoink and you're like, okay, let me get them a little treatment. And as you have them, you know, sitting in a big pantry room or a cat room or something, like, they're just going to be there for a couple nights while they get treated, whatever, you realize that some of them actually can be socialized really well. And, I mean, if they can, you should, you know? So sometimes we would do that. Hi, Wolfie. Sorry, now the other one's here. Wolfie. Hey. Come here. He keeps to himself more, and like, he loves hanging out with me, but I have to go hang out in the rooms he wants to hang out in. He doesn't really come in here as much. But when he hears Nucky, like, meowing a ton, he'll always come over. How you doing? Yeah. They're just licking each other. Yeah, gang's all here. They are trying to get food out of me. I mean, that's 100% what they're going for. It's a little, you know, it's been a little overcast recently, and they love to think that that means that it's earlier than it is, as if they think the sun's going down earlier than it actually is. So they seem to think that it is time for food, you know, 2 hours-ish earlier than it is, right? Okay, you can't hear it, but he's in the corner going. It's just these long, prolonged groans. These cat groans, man. You did hear the last one? Oh, Lucky. I guess it comes across a lot better than I think. Lucky. Why do you sound like an old man? Oh, Wolfie. Wolfie's his are meow, like very, very loud, clear meows. Lucky's got a lot of grumble to his voice. Wolfie. Wolfie, give the people a meow they want to hear. Wolfie. Meow. Did you hear him? Did you hear the clear little meow? Yeah, Nucky has so much vocal fry. He's like all the time, and then you know, you get Wolfie coming in here like meow. How are you? Meow. Oh, good boy. Yeah, he's so cute, man. He's so cute. He also looks cute. Okay, he has the cutest face, and he looks like a textbook cat that just goes on the side of a treats bag. Right, Wolfie? He's a stunner. He's a stunner. You have treats to give them to make them satisfied. That is not what you do when they beg you for treats. You have regimented times or situations or whatever, and you give them that during those times. But if they come up and beg, you do not give them things. You just don't. Or that's all they'll do forever. Your cat would meow when walking. Every step would slightly interrupt the meow, similar to what it sounds like if you hold a note and hit your chest. Yeah. Wolfie has done that down the stairs. He'll run down and be like, meow, and like, as he steps down. It's funny. That's one of my favorite things is I wake up in the morning. I get up, crack my eyeballs open, go down a set of stairs. And when I do that, the two of them run past me on either side. Nucky always on my right side, and Wolfie always on my left side. And they walk down the steps in front of me. They run down from behind me and go pew, down. And they meow as they run down. It's very cute. It's very cute. Your cats ever chirp at birds? Oh, look. They look like little freaks. Yeah, I need to do, I don't really have, like, grass and stuff. But, so I need to put a thing under it so it's not, like, a problem. There's an area of concrete. I think I could put a bird feeder. I was thinking about that. There's the occasional, like, bit of greenery and stuff around. It's not an area without birds or anything. So I was thinking about hanging a bird feeder outside of a window. It'd be nice. Do your cats like the new place more than your old place? Yeah, very much so. It's, you know, bigger. The last place was pretty damn small. This place is not that huge, but the layout of it feels bigger, so it's nice. The last place had really nice windows, like really nice. This place, the windows are just normal. Nothing wrong with that, but the windows in the last place were really nice, so I do kind of miss that. I miss that a ton, actually, but I'm not gonna change stuff on this place to change up the windows. Like, the windows are fine. They're fine. But yeah, they like the layout. I actually like, so it's like really cold in some spots and really warm in other spots, which normally some people wouldn't like. I like it for them because what they do is when they want to be a bit cooler, they go sleep in a room that is cooler. And when they want to be warmer, they go sleep in a room that is warmer. And it's actually quite nice for them. And the room I'm in is always perfectly even right where I need it to be. So I like that. I like that. It's simply because some rooms are sandwiched between other rooms where something else might have an outer wall or something, you know? And, like I've said, I do share walls with other people, you know? So if they have their heat cranked up a little bit, kind of leaches in, and, you know, that side might be a little warmer. So I can't really avoid that, but it does kind of make a nice scenario for them. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But I do miss some elements of my last place. Like, I could just go there. It's nothing on the outside. It's just the inside, you know? I don't know. I saw a weird comment. Can I bring this up? It just kind of, like, made me laugh? I don't know. My man. Sorry. Let me find it. Yeah, is that my video about my like clip about my new house? Someone said, so she moved twice in the last year, question mark? No. It didn't imply that I did. I don't know. I was just like, it's not even like a negative comment or anything. It was just someone asking a question that like was not implied at all. And I was like, what? I just get so confused by people. That's so confusing. Where people just like make shit up. I don't know why. It was odd. There's makeup implications. People do that all the time. Yeah, like, and a lot of the time it's not even harmful. That's the thing. They're not saying anything bad. They're not saying anything harmful. But someone will comment something like that. Yeah, they just misunderstood, right? For some reason, something that I just never said. They're like, oh, so she did this, right? And then someone else might read that and not like watch the whole video and then think it's real. And then they come to my chat 3 days later and then they're like, yeah, I can't believe you moved twice in the last, year. And I'm like, what? And it like always ends up circling back to me. I always end up seeing it because other people get under that impression. I'm like, what? It just happens so often. Ooh, hype train. Thank you for the hype train, guys. Hey, Algaron, thank you for the 24 months. Also, Ruri with the Prime for 45 months. It's fucking insane. Welcome back. Welcome back. But yeah, I just get so confused by people. I don't know. Even if you move twice, what does it matter? I mean, it shouldn't. I guess it's a confusing thing because most people don't move twice within a year. Like, that is kind of like, I too, if I thought someone did, I'd be like, why? But no, I've only moved once within the last many years, honestly, because of COVID especially. But I was just so confused. I was just so confused. I don't know. There's a recent study published by the Financial Times showcasing human intelligence seems to be declining sharply. The link was to excessive use of social media. Sorry, I'm like, my brain is tired. Let me see. Financial Times study intelligence. Let me see. It's not just you. People really are less smart than they used to be. As the Financial Times reports, assessments show that people across age groups are having trouble concentrating and losing reasoning, problem solving, and information processing skills. All facets of the hard to pin down metric that intelligence is supposed to measure. That is true. The results are gleaned from benchmarking tests that track cognitive skills in teens and young adults. Okay, I would like to say teens and young adults. So they're testing within a certain generation, really? A smaller window. Okay, it's from the University of Michigan's Monitoring the Future study, documenting concentration difficulties of 18-year-old Americans. Two, as well, the Program for International Student Assessment that measures the learning skills of 15-year-olds around the world. They kind of compiled data from, I guess, different things that were going on here. Years of research suggest that young people are struggling with reduced attention spans and weakening critical thinking skills. Oh. They see the attention span thing, I'm like, we can work with that, but the critical thinking part is kind of... it's cooked. There's been a demonstrably steep decline in cognitive skills since the COVID pandemic due to the educational disruption it presented. See, that's something I'd like to say is very unique and out of their control. Very unique that happened. And studies for a long time have shown that no matter what age it happens at, interrupting education and then trying to pick it back up is very difficult. Keeping discipline going when there's a huge gap is rough, and this is why some people should take gap years. Some people really should not. A lot of people, personally, in my opinion, should not, because they have a hard time getting back into it, So it's actually, that's just understandable, honestly. But they're saying these trends have been in evidence since at least the mid-2010s, suggesting this has lasted longer than the pandemic. No single answer. One key indicator is the sharp decline in reading and the world's changing relationship to the way we consume information and media. That's true. 2022, National Endowment for the Arts found that 37.6% of Americans said they'd read a novel or short story in the year prior, a share down from 41.5% in 2017 and 45.2% in 2012. I will say there has been a resurgence in sort of like social media trends getting people to read books, so almost like aesthetically pleasing book clubbing, which has been really nice. So I actually think I don't know how much it'll catch on, realistically, like how much the population it'll affect, but there definitely is like book talk. Book talk. There is a little bit of a resurgence in that, so I'm kind of hoping that pushes it a little. We'll see. Beyond changes in Oh, actually, wait, this is a different one. It'd be easy enough to blame it on decline in people reading less, you know. But according to 2023 results from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, same internal consortium that puts out that same survey that I mentioned before, 34% of the adults in the United States scored at the lowest levels of numeracy, which essentially means they lack the ability to work with numbers. A year prior, that share was just 29%. So an extra 5% in a year. What? This is why I hate watching anyone put any chart or data or anything on like news, on like TV, on basic levels of media that the average person will see, because not only do they misrepresent it most of the time, on top of that, most people cannot interpret this stuff unless it's explained to them. So when they just show a chart, I'm like, people, even if there was an issue here, people would not get it. That is, oof. That is oof. And then they're saying, beyond that, our relationship to info is shifting too. We know this. There are ways to use tech that don't cause harm to cognition, obviously, but studies show that screen time, quote unquote, as we know it today, hurts verbal functioning in children, makes it harder for college-age adults to concentrate and retain information. Yeah. I mean, we kind of knew that. The numeracy one, though, I actually hadn't seen any, like, data relating to that. Let me see. Numeracy study. The 5 stages of learning of numeracy are emergent, perceptual, figurative, counting on, and facile. Okay. Wait, so they're saying that most people are in the lowest stage? Not most people, like 29%. Oh. So like level 5 is graphical information, calculation, solving problems, for example. What? People are that bad with it? It's rough, man. It's rough. Well, hey, if you go into anything related to math, then you will have a job forever. So, hey, learn to count, bitch. You motherfuckers need to read a book and look at a damn chart every now and then. Okay. I think a lot of this is simply repetition. I think a lot of our need to think critically has gotten replaced, so people just don't do it. I don't think we're looking at this saying, oh, people are incapable now. It's more that people are not practiced because they don't need to be. I think if you simply put in time, even if you're older, it doesn't fucking matter. You can just get better at these things. But I think with the way the internet is, you do not have to think through that yourself. You can always just look up the answer. So when people default to trying to look up the answer before thinking about it themselves, I think that's where they do themselves a disservice, right? You should sit there, try to come up with the answer as best you can, think through it as hard as you possibly can. And then if you still can't reach a conclusion, or if you do and you want to check if it's correct, then you go. Right? Like, you just try to think first. And then use tech to, you know, fact check yourself. Let it be your teacher to let you know if that's correct and why. But yeah, I think that's really all it is. Yeah, people are outsourcing their thoughts. Exactly. I think people just, they jump so quick. This is reading chat count. Honestly, it's better than nothing. Yeah. It's better than nothing. I don't know. Aren't papers being released talking about how the emergent AI is harming critical thinking skills? It's new. This is new. So I'm like, okay, papers, all right, you know, let's wait for things with bigger data sets. But I think those are more like they could harm these skills if people use them all the time and don't do their own learning. But I don't think it is a significant enough volume of that happening to actually affect people that much yet. I don't know. But who knows? Who knows? You're annoyed when you have a theoretical discussion with someone and then their knee-jerk reaction is to look it up. Like, bro, why can't we just talk about it? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think people want to just get the answer immediately, and they don't. They're not used to looking within and trying to come up with an answer or potential. So yeah, they just default to it. I agree. I agree. This is why I am a fan of if you are in school, you shouldn't be able to have a phone. like like it's such a boomer thought is how it gets categorized, but I think everyone should really be on board with that. I think when you're in class, you should not have a phone. I think when you're in between classes, you shouldn't have it either. That's just my thought. I think it should like go in the locker and stay in the locker the whole day, because it's a matter of having to just needing to give yourself the opportunity to think and speak and not have to deal with that shit. And I think when you make those things available to yourself, it's just not, you're just going to reach for it. I know some schools do that. I think it's better. I don't think it's a boomer take either, right? I think it does just make sense. But back in my day, people did not open their phones while they were in class. And it was a very different experience. And I have, within recent years, sat in a classroom helping an old friend, you know, teach a thing and sitting in, giving a discussion. And I have sat there and watched kids of today exist in a classroom, and the amount of inability to put phones down, like, it's different from back in the day when someone would just be like, come on, I was texting my friend, come on, you know, and then they take the phone. It's more like they shut down without it, is what I was seeing. And I was like, oh, God. It's so much. You said lockers haven't been a thing anymore for many years already? In what fucking school? I'm sure some of them, but what? They don't have lockers no more. Plenty of them do. Plenty of them still do. Jesus. You did not learn algebra until your calculator was taken away. Yeah. Exactly. Your physics teacher had Selcatraz for your phone if you went to the bathroom. I like that. That's solid. Hi, Giga. Did I miss the stream? Yeah, it's totally over. Grr. Your school you work at has lockers, but like 2% of students ever use them. Because they give you a locker that's in the middle of fucking nowhere, and then they give you 30 seconds to run between your classes, and you don't have any time to go to your locker and change out your books. So you have to carry all of it on you and get back problems when you're like 14. Okay. That's just, it's fucked up. Then you got that kid hunched over. He's gunching in the class because he's got some sort of bag holding his books that he's got on one shoulder because he had to run out of the classroom. He didn't even feel like he had time to get both straps on his shoulders, you know? And it's just, it's crazy. He's what? Yeah, gunching. The gunch. But it's fucked, dude. Yeah, 10 books, 10 notebooks, 5 pencils. It's garbage, man. It's garbage. It's awful. It's awful. Terrible. Anyway. Anyway, I think, yeah, people are cooked. They're gonna learn the hard way. They're really gonna learn the hard way. And, you know, I think younger folks that are affected by this are going to come to the same conclusions that current older folks are coming to. I think they're going to be like, you know what? They're gonna do the thing. Look, the '90s were so cool. Just kids out there having a good time. No cell phones. How they romanticize that shit. I think they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna be like, man, yeah, they did not go to school with phones, huh? So they can actually concentrate on shit. They're gonna understand because they're gonna see people in front of them capable of doing shit that they wish they could be capable of, but they can't. And I think you're gonna get more people trying to swing things back the other direction. We'll see. We'll see. Over the past 10 years of teaching, you've seen a major decline in all the areas you just mentioned. I have a lot of teachers in my life. Yeah, family, friends, whatever. Yeah, I hear a lot of comments about how things have gone, how things have changed since teaching all the way back to like the 70s to now, And it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. I think 90s and early 2000s, a lot of schooling had sort of peaked, ? Maybe 80s as well, but yeah, cell phones really kind of fucked it. It really fucked it. I think, very simply, it's on parents. It's on everyone, but it's mostly on parents. If they actually want to do something about it, it starts at home. And it should be known and reported on and made obvious to them and taught to them that this is a problem. And what parents should do is, if they want to have a device for their kid to use that gives them access to all the things that ruin their attention span, they can have that at home. But what they should have when going out is a cell phone that lets you make calls and gives you like Google Maps to get around and gives you basically nothing. Yeah, a fucking old Nokia, a track phone, right? A pager. But I think there should be devices or locked down versions of devices. You can go parent controls mode very easily and just give them limited usage so they have everything they need to be safe, to find their way around, etc. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff they should not have available to them all the time. And I think if you get them into that habit of, I'm in learning mode and I'm doing this thing right now, so I need to be locked in. And then when you're done, you're like, okay, now I can like do whatever the fuck I want with my phone. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. There are even some phones where you can lock them down with parental controls where during certain time periods on certain days, it locks you out of everything. So you can be like, yeah, I can only call and use Google Maps and maybe like 2 other apps, whatever they designate, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. each day. And then once that time is done, which is basically when, whenever they're out of school or whatever, then it opens up and they can do everything. There are also ones where the kid can come home and hand it to their parent, and when their parent types in a passcode, it then lets them in. And that's also very very useful. Very, very useful. What'd you say, Maki? You said, if I have kids, I don't see myself giving them electronics at a young age. Can't let them have brain rot. And another person replied, said, if you do that, though, you risk making them socially dysfunctional instead. Yeah, it's not as easy as one would like to think unless their friends and their parents are on the same level. Yeah, though I have known people who've been more and less disconnected than others from stuff like that in groups. And honestly, it's fine. It's fine. Aren't Japanese people giving their kids a flip phone nowadays? Is that what they're doing? I honestly think that's the way to go. The old Motorola Razr, boom. That's what your kid gets. They can play Snake on it. Woo! Oh, you're bored? Okay, play Snake. Ta-da. There you go. That's all you get. Yeah, you said in current day and age, abuse is absolutely a parent issue because there's so many parental controls designed into the system. The only other issue is these functions aren't advertised. That's the thing, is a lot of these parents don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. No one teaches anyone how to be a full and complete parent. You have a lot of your own family that will teach you the basics, if you even have that. And they tend to teach you things on how to take care of a baby. But once they get old enough, no one's still sitting there coaching you through all this shit. And none of your older relatives are going to know much about parental controls. So if the companies don't do this, then no one knows. They just don't know. So, yeah, that's something that would be very helpful in general. It would be. Yeah, tech literacy. Yeah, yeah. We'll see. Give it time. Give it time. Also, I saw Oshi, you sent something. You said, you sent me a draft. Wait, where's the message? Let me look. I sent you a draft of the best/worst remix of my life. I don't know if it belongs on Sound Alert, so please decide. Let's preview it. Okay, okay. It's on Discord, so it might be loud. I'm gonna turn it down. Okay, guys, do we want this as a Sound Alert or not?
They sell those on ownahold.com.
Is this from the raid?
Ownahold.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Ownahold.com.
Alright, the build up. I would shorten the build up, but it's good. Okay.
Ownahold.com.
What is that drop?
Pocket pussy. Pocket pussy, dude. Oh my god, that was the worst possible time you could have rated me. Yeah, cool. Right now.
Wait.
What the fuck?
Dude.
Ownahold.com.
You have to make it a Sound Alert. Yeah. No, fully approved. I'm not even gonna ask chat. You have to. That was the hardest drop of all time. We rated him the other day, and he said something about, like, they were watching a video, and it had some fish or some squid or some sea creature in it, right? And it had, like, this, like, hole in it, as it's, you know, as many of them do, water passes through, whatever. And he's like, that's a pocket pussy. That's what he says, and he's like, you see that shit on ownahole.com. And as he's saying that, that's when my raid goes through. So the raiders come in, and the stream loads in, and you hear what someone's saying for a little bit, and then they see the raid. So, like, everyone was just dumped in and just saw that. And then the raid comes through, and he goes, oh my god. And he's, like, holding his face, and he's, like, he has a breakdown. Oh my god. Wait, I have the clip somewhere. When have you clipped it? Here.
Oh my god, that's a fucking pocket pussy, dude. They sell those on ownahold.com. What the fuck? Oh my god, that was the worst possible time you could have rated me.
It's like one after the other. It was back to back. He says both of those lines, and then the raid comes through. That's what you remix. That's so fucking funny. Yeah. Oh, she put it on Sound Alerts. I approve. Him saying ownahole.com and then the drop being ownahole.com is the Yeah, have you sent it to him? Please make sure you've sent it to him and, like, his entire fucking community. Please. It's gotta happen. I hate that emote. J Mike, you died it. So stupid. I hate it. Oh man. Made it last night. Yeah. I was lurking in your stream. I was lurking. I was in meetings though, so I didn't have it loud, so I didn't hear the end result, man. Holy fuck. That's so funny. It is so fucking funny. Well, we'll do more shit with Mike soon. I was gonna see if he wanted to repo at some point, actually. I think it'd be really nice. I think it'd be really, really nice. Okay, Joel just went live. We're gonna play in a bit. He just went live for his stream. We're gonna do Split Fiction soon. Whenever he tells me to. We don't need to start, but whenever he pings me and is like, it's time. All good. All good. Still have yet to try a repo. Gotta find me a group. Hey! if you want a game, try our Discord. Unironically, people are always just in VC, and a lot of people are very welcoming. I'm very good with that. And you can always go into the gaming. Hold on, I'm opening the Discord right now. Verbal Discord tour. You can always easily just scroll down, okay? There's a gamers category. There's a gaming topic. People always post how they did on the Wordle every day. But right below that, there's the gaming forum. So every single game that comes out, practically, there will be a little forum related to it, a little forum post, and you can just go in there and talk about it, and you can request the new ones to be made. I don't know if you all have the permission level to do it yourself, or if you have to ask an admin, but either way, you can get one created. So if you're ever, like, you know, doing stuff, you can go into the gaming channel and just be like, I want to play Repo, does anyone want to test it? And then we also have, if you're a little less nervous about this, there... Rico, did you just do this? Okay, so there's this VC that you can click on as a little plus. It says create a VC. So when you click on it, it makes a new VC that is yours. You can rename it, and then you can just sit in there and hang out in there. So you could name it and be like looking for group repo lobby, and people can just hop in. And as you can see, you know, you could name it whatever you like. You will be moderated, potentially. But you can do that. It'll just name it like your username's room until you change it, but yeah. But you click on the one above that says create a VC. When you click on it, it opens a menu for you. That lets you just do everything you need to do. Everything you need to do. And then you can head into the shit fart room. So you know what Rico's about. And you know, if you look at that, you're like, oh, I'm interested in that too. And then you can click on it. So if you're like looking for a group, you're trying to do a thing, you're playing, I don't know, Monster Hunter, you're playing Repo, whatever, you can just hop in there and just exist and hope that people join in. There's so many of you. So many of you in there. Look, I made my own. I made one for 3 seconds to see if anyone would hop in really quick, and if they did, I was gonna unmod them. But they didn't. Very good. You're safe for now. You're safe for now. They're so tempting. Oh, yeah. Show is. Liked it when you played the Monster Hunter Wilds with the Vine Source, guys. Yeah, we'll probably play more. I really liked playing with Strippin' and Limes the other day. I was gonna see if they wanna hunt again. I think it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I think it'd be great. Oh, I liked it. I want to continue. Okay, so I played a bit more of Kingdom Come Deliverance on my own, and I've benched it, and I want to go back to it. I've really enjoyed it, but I wanted to put it down for a bit and then go back to it and just do a full thing. And I'm trying to decide if I should maybe stream that or not and continue it on stream. I don't know. Peke, hello. Diamond lost. Why lost? What happened? Chat, what happened? Tell me. What happened? Just playing Minecraft. Oh. Just tucked straight down. Lava, no. We have to play Minecraft together. We have to do it. We gotta play. Not Minecraft Diamonds, it's different. It takes so much time. Peggy, I'm so sorry. I love that emotes. Oh no. Look, Look, you can always find more. Just keep digging, okay? Diggy, diggy hole. You guys should teach her about that song. You should teach all of Nova about that song, Diggy, Diggy Hole. I think they'd love it. That'd be great. I think it'd be great. Say with me. Yeah, it's a banger. It's a banger. Oh man. She also tried to show Nagi a bucket clutch and died. Oh, it can be so difficult. I mean, I'm not the greatest at Minecraft either. And I do it all the time. Where I'm like, yo, guys, look, this is like the strat. Okay, you have to do this thing. And then I always go, check it out, bucket clutch. And then I just fucking die. I do the same thing. I fuck it up all the time. All the time. Yeah, always going, watch this. You always play so high in Block Wars. It depends on the minigame. I have certain minigames that I do really well in and others I don't. I think I did great in some other weeks, but the last Block Wars I did not place high. I feel like I was just not locked in, so I have to go practice. I have to literally practice Minecraft. I have to train. I have to practice. I don't know. I gotta do it. But the thing is, a lot of the mini games that they do in Block Wars, I don't know where I would practice them or how I would do it. I could build my own course, but that would take ages. I know that there's some servers that have maps for certain things, but I don't know. Labbing Minecraft. Getting pretty good at the Trident game. Yeah, there's some. But I do want to practice more. I don't know. What are you feeling like playing right now? We have a collab today with Joel. He started up a stream. We're going to play Split Fiction. And I'm just not going to worry about what time we're starting. I'm going to, whenever he messages me. Whenever he does. But yeah, we're gonna do that today. I have not seen any of it. I haven't seen any of the game. I do know a lot of people that I know have tried playing it and have said it's good. I have seen one clip of it. It was just one clip of Mouse like screaming during a segment. She was like screaming and freaking out because she was supposed to like do a thing. She couldn't do that thing. So yeah. That's it. That's all I've seen. I have not seen anything else other than the trailer of the game. And there are a lot of friends I thought of, like I could play stuff like that with. And I thought it'd be really fun to do with Joel when he asked. I was like, yeah, absolutely yes. But another part of me thought games like this, I should play with one of the Nova members. I should grab someone who speaks not Hesti, okay? No English. I should be like, yo, Peke, yo, Nagi, yo, yo, Hotaru. Like one of us should play a game like this. I thought it'd be so funny. But yeah, Hesti would be off limits because she could just use English. I thought it'd be fun to do like something like, not exactly this game, but something like chained together. It's like me and then the three that cannot speak English. Oh, I thought it'd be funny as fuck. But I was talking to Nagi about me, her, and Henya doing Monster Hunter, so we could do that. But I think it'd be really funny to do something that would be an absolute clusterfuck. Yeah, so much misunderstanding. Did you play It Takes Two or A Way Out? I played It Takes Two with May a long time ago, but I've never done A Way Out. I've never played that game. But A Way Out, I think that'd be more fun for an English speaker. I feel like there's so much dialogue in that game, and I don't know if I can like get the subtitling and the voices right. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's something. Not sure. I'll have to think about that. I'll keep talking and nobody explodes. That could be so hard. Hmm. How? I'm thinking about it. How? How? I don't... Like, you can just picture, right? You've seen that game? Correct? Pekka Nagi did keep talking while using the English manual. Oh, God. Yeah, passion English. Passion English. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Honestly, it could be done. Now that I'm thinking about it. Ooh, wait, here's an idea. You have a phone in front of you, right? You have a phone in front of you. You speak into it, speech to text, and then press the button that speaks out on Google Translate the other language. Okay, hear me out. So if it gets it horrifically wrong, I wouldn't even know. Just do our best. Oh, it could be funny. It could be funny. Ooh, maybe. When did you start streaming? I don't know. Look it up. I don't remember. I don't remember. Imagine explaining shapes with Google Translate. The more I think about it, yeah, I don't know. It could be done, but it would be so cooked. It'd be so cooked. Like what year? I don't know. 2020? 2021? $1937. Yep. I know it's been over 4 years now. It's been over 4 years or something like that. I don't know, man. Feeling sleepy? No. Why? Yeah, pre-war, exactly. I was one of the few pre-war streamers. You know, it's very different. Got good bones, you know? Got good bones. When you're old, all years fused together. Oh, dude, it just gets faster and faster every single time. It accelerates. I don't know. You sound a bit tired for a bit. Look, man. Look. If I go, okay, I'm not, you know what? I'm not gonna cook you. I'm not gonna cook you. I'm gonna be nice. No, I'm gonna say it. If I go off of your viewer card, you have been to 4 of my streams that you've typed in ever. Maybe you've watched more, but I can assume you've only been here 4 times. Let's just leave it at that, you know? You sounded a bit tired. You don't know me like that. I sound a lot of different ways depending on how I say things. You know, it's all right. It's all right, man. It's all right. Four is better than 3? Hey, it's true. Tired of this shit. Tired of everything. I'm tired of it. Nah, I'm chilling. I am chilling. For me, my brain is a little fried because I was saying to chat that like before bed I was in a meeting, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I was immediately in another meeting. So like there's a lot of information bouncing around my brain, but I'm not like tired. Does that make sense? I'm kicking my brain into chatting gear and it's like lagging. It's definitely lagging. It's definitely lagging. So that's just how it is. Like it's a real job. Well, I treat it as one, so yeah. For sure. Split fiction will be good brain stimulus. It'll be nice to have a game that takes you through it, right? And it's not something like, if it were an open world game, I think I would just go to sleep. I would just go to sleep. I'd be like, I can't make decisions right now. But when the game is just like, go through it, it's linear. Oh, love that. Love that. It's wonderful. Yeah, close the background apps running on in your head. Yeah, because I just have so much, work I have to do. And so much work I've done. And even the stuff that I have to do is not all stuff I can do immediately. So it's not like I could end stream and sit down and crunch a bunch of stuff out. I have to wait for certain things too. So my brain is just like, ugh, and thinking about it, but I can't actually do anything. And that always gets my brain going. Always. Always. Sorry for being there for so few years. Don't apologize. I'm just cooking you. No apologies. Not at all. We playing split fiction with Joel. We're gonna do Joel. One of my first close VTuber friends. Someone I've been friends with like the whole time I've been a streamer. Yeah. One of the oldest VTubers, and I mean oldest not like in age, but like people who's been around as a VTuber longest. He was a VTuber before people in the West were using the phrase VTuber. Literally. It's one of the first maybe 5 people on Twitch to be sitting there using a VTuber model. Which is just like, that's a badge of honor, okay? That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. But yeah, he very, very uniquely was one of the first people doing that. And I remember finding his streams very early on, before I even knew what VTubers really were. And I saw him, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, they're using some sort of 3D model of sorts. He was 3D at the time. Yeah, Foxy Joel, his old name. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then sometime later, I see VTubers are actually a thing now, and there's a term called VTuber, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm one of those. But like for the longest time, he was just, I think Rose Doodle was another one that was around super early, and the two of them would always be like, yeah, I have anime girlitis. When people would go to their chat and be like, how are you doing that? How are you that thing and not like a webcam, you know? They would like freak out because they hadn't seen it before. That's how they would explain it. They would always say they have anime girlitis. I always thought that was so funny. Such a good explanation, man. So good. Wasn't Buff an early adopter too? Yes, but not quite that early. Pretty early though. I think the very first VTubers were furries with the suits, but they were IRL, made no money off of it. That's not a VTuber. That's not a VTuber with a suit. That's a person in a suit and a furry. A VTuber is virtual. Virtual. So using some sort of 2 or 3-dimensional model. It's in the name. Yeah. Now there's similarities in that you're adopting a persona. Yes, absolutely. I think there are a lot of similarities, but oh, you know, I asked someone this a bit ago. I was talking to someone. They were talking about a lot of things. They were yapping, rapid fire, talking about themselves. And someone I had just met, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm a furry," because someone joked about it or something. And they were like, no, I'm not, haha. And they just turned and they were like, I actually am though. Like just casually. And I was like, oh, okay. Fine by me. And then at some point they also talked about they're very autistic. And I was like, can I ask a question? It was one of those, you ever have those questions that you're like afraid to ask? but like you mean it nicely. You're just questioning. I asked this person because they were very open about like talking about everything. I said, let me ask you a question. They're like, yeah. And I was like, why are so many people that I know who are autistic also furries? Why are so many of my autistic friends either mildly into it or like people that I meet, you know, I was like, what is the connection? Not like an accusatory way or anything. I'm just like, there is a correlation. What is that? What is that doing for you? Like, question, you know? I'm just curious. And they explained it to me in a way that made so much sense. And I was like, okay, now I get it. They were like, look, doing anything social has my brain screaming. They put it very simply. Like if I'm looking at a person and I'm talking to a person and I'm aware I'm talking to a person, I'm looking in their eyes, I'm seeing their human face, my brain is screaming. It's overwhelming for me. I'm masking. I'm trying very hard to get through it. It is it's like solving a math problem as I'm talking to someone. It's very, you know, overwhelming. And they said, but for some reason, they were like, and a lot of my friends who are also autistic and furries all say the same thing. They were like corroborating for me. They were like, for some reason, when someone's in a fursuit or they're using a virtual persona or something, but specifically in the furry kind of way, they were like, I look at them and they're an animal. And even though I know there's a person in there and I'm treating them as a person, I'm looking at an animal. And something about that removes a lot of the anxiety and genuinely makes it a lot easier to communicate. And I was like, huh. I just didn't know. I was just like, I really have noticed this, and I like always want to ask, but I didn't want to ask someone who would think I'm like accusing them of something. I just wanted to know, you know. But they were saying that it actually like removes a lot of the anxiety in trying to identify what the person is feeling when you're just looking at them. And I was like, okay, interesting. They said they listen to a lot of audio only podcasts as well for that reason. And even in the audio can make it a little difficult, but having the audio and just not looking at that person's face helps them a ton. And I was like, okay, interesting. You had explained to you that a lot of it is about the exaggerated facial expressions in that anthro style that make it obvious what they are feeling. That's another thing. They were talking about how a lot of it is very based in, you make a persona, you have them drawn, and when they're drawn, yes, it's like the really exaggerated facial expressions and everything. And they said that really, it's clear and straightforward. And then I asked them a follow-up question. I was like, so why is it always Sonic? It was straight up because the background on their phone had Sonic. And I was like, why is it always Sonic? Specifically, why not another thing specifically? And that was part of their answer. They were like, it's a lot of things. They were like, honestly, they were like, it's because he's so simple. He's blue and he goes fast and he has red shoes. And his eyes are huge and his facial expressions are super clear and it's simple. And I was like, really? Like, it's that soothing to the brain? Like, it's that, you know? And they were like, yeah, for them, they were like, yeah, for me, it's like that. And I was like, huh. Interesting. Like, I guess it simplifies everything. So it's so easy to understand. You don't have to do guesswork for what he's about, you know? I was like, okay. They were like, yeah, Sonic is good. He is blue. He goes fast. And then Shadow is an anti-hero. He's cool. He's red and black. And I was like, you know what? I get it. I was like, this makes so much sense to me now. This one person like clarified so much. I was like, wow, okay. I get it. You said you're on the spectrum and you pretty much only watch VTubers because even just watching IRL people stream makes you uncomfortable. Can't explain it. Yeah, I think it's maybe my guess. This is my best guess, is that your brain is trying to sit there and identify what they're feeling, what they're saying, all the other things outside of just the audio you're hearing that kind of go into it. But then because your brain has issues with trying to handle that and it goes quicker to just being overwhelmed instead of just trying to parse through it, that just builds anxiety for you, right? That's my best guess. That is what it is, right? And it's not you, right? Like it is part of you, but it's not you trying to do that. It's just your brain doing that. So you're just trying to enjoy a stream and then your brain's just like, you know? I can I can fully understand that. Makes a lot of sense to me. For me, it wasn't like I get that because I do have a lot of friends that are varying levels and types of autistic, and it makes sense to me that the brain is overwhelmed by certain things, especially socially, you know, whatever, facial expressions. I get that. But for me, it was like, why specifically furries, you know? It's one of those things where I was just so curious. But when this one person explained it to me, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Ain't that just parasocial and dissociation? No, not at all. Not at all. Nope. Parasocial is like an entirely different term. That's a one-way relationship thing. This is just someone trying to look at somebody and understand what they're saying, what they're thinking, what they're feeling while they're speaking. Which is what literally everyone does. But a neurodivergent brain might have more trouble, depending on how your brain works. Might have more trouble doing that. So, you know, it can make something that's supposed to be entertaining a bit more stressful. That's all. That's all. What if, and get this, neurotypical people are just saying what they mean and meaning what they say? Wouldn't that solve a lot of people like me with autism? No more guesswork, saves time. Yes, I am Dutch. I mean, yeah, that depends on the person. I just say what I mean as well. I will often reword things a couple times in a row. You'll hear me say the same sentence meaning 3 different times, re-explained, because that way I'm making sure I'm doing a catch-all, right? Someone will sit there and understand one of those ways I explain that thing, at least. So I do that. I do that to make myself known. But I mean what I say.
Ownahold.com.
On that note,
they sell those on ownahold.com.
I need to refill my water.
Ownahold.com.
Perfect timing.
Ownahold.com. Sell those on ownahold.com.
Go crazy, guys. Go crazy.
Ownahold.com. Ownahold. 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 Ownahold.com. Here, kid. Come now. Come right now. Pocket pussy. Pocket pussy, dude. Oh my god, that was the worst possible time you could have rated me. Come. Here, kid. Come right now. What the fuck? Ownahold.com.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I was doing a water thing. Thank you for the timing on that. God, I love that remix. It's crazy. The drop is insane. Absolutely insane. What'd you say? With VTubers and PNG-tubers, you can change it to literally anything you want and get creative. It's more appealing in some way. Maybe. Yes, but a person could do that too. I think they just don't try as much all the time. Does that make sense? You said you're autistic, you watch a few different VTubers and have an echolalia thing going on, which is nice and all, but I make Vinny and Joel often. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I think that's very common. It's very common. I know a lot of people will do that, especially when they're talking to someone that they like really agree with or they really like. Haruka does it a lot with me. And it's literally it's a way I can tell if she like is really feeling what I'm saying or not. And it's actually like it's the same way as if you were talking to someone and they were nodding and they were just like and you're like, okay, they're giving me like an approval toward what I'm saying in some kind of way, or they're going I understand, or like they're going yes, keep talking, or whatever. When she does that, for anyone who doesn't know, echolalia is like when you're talking and someone just starts repeating some of the stuff you say. And a lot of people with ASD do this. So I'll go, yeah, I was wondering if you want to go somewhere later. And they'll go like, later? They'll just say it like as you're saying it, right? And it's something that most neurotypical people like do not do at all. It's a thing that a lot of folks with ASD will do. For me, I usually, it's not always, but depends on the friend and after I get to know them and how they use it, but I could usually tell Yeah, right. A sign of connect and buy-in. Exactly. It's sort of like an approval. It's the same as someone nodding at me to what I was saying in that moment. Haruka does it to me a lot. I think it's funny. Yeah. Mirroring is uber human. I mean, even people who are neurotypical will occasionally do that, but it's just very rare that they verbally do that. I think maybe you do it in your mind a little more because you're agreeing with what they're saying and you can kind of like determine how they're going to end that sentence. Your brain is sort of like just doing that as you listen to someone speak anyway. But then yeah, a lot of folks with ASD will like say it out loud. You had a coworker that got pissed when you did that. It can, okay. When you are faced with it, okay, let's say you are neurotypical and you're talking to someone with ASD and it's very strong, that habit, right? It can be very frustrating, yes, because you're talking and when they say the word you just said, it just adds a little hiccup to the conversation and it makes you more likely to lose your train of thought or like focus on it, or you think they might be starting to speak, so you're like thinking, should I stop talking? Are they about to speak? And then you realize they're just doing that and you're like, right? Like it trips you up a lot. And that's why it might be really frustrating for people. But I don't know, for me, I'm like, oh, they're just connecting with what I'm saying. That's really all. That's all it is. I think that's one of the ones that's a little easier to get rid of because you can get yourself in the habit of like mouthing it but not verbalizing it very much. That's how some of my friends have done it. Their habit is now it's almost like they're whispering it, you know? Find yourself mimicking accents at times and you have to actively try to not speak in a person's accent. I think a lot of folks do that to a small degree. But yeah, maybe with ASD that could be amplified, I wonder. I don't know. I've seen quite a bit of it. Yeah, it trips you up. Yeah. Exactly. You always pause when people start speaking. Sometimes you just get really tripped up. Yeah, I think it depends on the person. I think not all neurotypical people can do this very easily, but someone who's neurotypical tends to have a higher chance, right? A higher chance of being able to get tripped up mid-conversation and then bring it back, put it back on track. Not everyone, though. But I noticed with a lot of my neurodivergent friends that, yeah, it's really tough. They get tripped up and they're like, and they just like kind of malfunction for a second, or they feel like really stopped. Not a little tripped up, they feel stopped, you know? That can be really tough. You haven't been diagnosed with any type of ASD, but your father came to you one day saying he thinks he might be, but in his stay, it wasn't something you felt you could go get diagnosed with. Yeah, and it tends to run in the family from what I've seen, right? Much more common. I have a close friend of mine where you can tell both of her parents have ASD. Her dad was diagnosed later in life. Her mom never got diagnosed, but she knows in her heart of hearts, you know, and she said it. She's like, oh, I exhibit the signs, 100%. And then they have 2 kids. They have my friend, and then her brother. And her brother's, I think I've mentioned him before. He's like nonverbal. It's hard to even get him to like eat food. He doesn't like have fine motor skills very much. He can't really move his hands properly. He always sits in the same position and he always wants to sit. So even things about his body are like, you could tell he's only done this one thing his whole life, like sit in this one position. You know what I mean? He's just very affected by it. And yeah, they would always their parents would always talk about how, you know, they both had a strong line of these kinds of issues, neurodivergence and everything in their family. And they would always talk about, yeah, if we have kids, like, there's gotta be, like, they would say, like, I wonder if one of them will turn out kind of like, you know, having stronger symptoms because of how strong this runs in us. And then they actually did. So, and he's someone I've interacted with a lot my whole life. So I've seen him kind of grow and develop and everything. And, yeah, it's just, you can just tell it's a very, very strong genetic component. Yeah, strong genetic links for most kinds of neurodiversity. It's true. Curious how much is learned from parents in that case. In their case, the way they act and do things, you wouldn't be able to really tell. You could tell the dad is neurodivergent. You could tell he has ASD a little bit, but he functionally just does everything very well. And it's just in his facial expressions and when you're talking. You know, you'll talk to him and he'll like lift his chin up. He does almost like imagine if someone's acting a bit theatrical and they're going like, ah, their character goes, ah, yes, and they like lift their chin, right? And they lift their eyebrows as well when you say a thing to look like they are absorbing your information, right? He just does that when you talk, like, all the time. Right? All the time. He just does that. And then when he talks, he goes, yes, so, and he brings his head down and talks. And he has a lot of little habits like that when he's speaking that kind of tune you into, okay, there's something going on here, but it doesn't affect his word choice at all. It doesn't really affect any of that. So he's able to do everything, you know, like he's not incapable of anything really. It's just a thing that when people look at him, they're like, why does he do that? But if he were on the phone, you'd never know. Yeah, a little NPC behavior in the way he like physically moves when he's talking, but he really doesn't like do anything crazy. So that being said, I don't think their kids would have picked up too much stuff like that from them because both of the parents don't have a lot of behaviors like that. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Both your parents are Asperger's and your two brothers got caught by the ASD. Yeah, it seems to just all be very, very, very linked. Oh, they do it in 3 levels. Level 1 is what you have, generally doesn't impede your life. Level 2 is where it could impede life and they need some guidance. 3 is where they need constant guidance and supervision. Yeah. I think yeah, my friend's brother, he is like strongly level 3. Strongly level 3. Like, he really loves me. He loves me. So when I would go over their house, they'd be like, look who's here. You know, I walk in the door and I'm like, hey, and he's sitting on the couch and he would stand up and he would just start pacing. And you just go like, and you start like, he like doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't verbalize, but he like does, you know, does a little groaning and he'll be like, as he just walks around the room. And I'm like, he's excited. Like I know what that is. I'm just like, look, he's excited that I'm here. And then he'll like not look at me, but he'll like turn, look at me and stand like really close once and then walk away and then just keep pacing. And I'm like, yeah, he's having a good time. Like he's just chilling. But he's very like, you know, he's got a lot of issues. He does. He's got a lot going on. Yeah, certified, hell yeah. But he's really, I mean, his cognitive abilities are so low and it is what it is. It is what it is. He's doing well, all things considered. That's cute. Okay, being someone who's been around him for a long time, I'm just like, oh yeah, he's excited, you know? There are a lot of people that, if we would be out in public with him, he freaks people out, right? And it's not his fault people are freaked out by him because some of his behaviors look concerning. Some of the noises he makes, some of the ways he physically acts, you worry he might hurt himself or he might knock something over, or, you know, he's very clumsy, his motor skills aren't good. So a lot of people just see him out in public and are like, they don't react well. They don't treat him horribly though. They're more like concerned. But yeah, so I see him do things like that. I see him start like get up and start pacing and I'm like, oh look, he's happy. Whereas someone else in public might be like, he's running away. And I'm like, no, he's doing a circle. He'll come back. He loves to do a circle, you know? Stuff like that. So whenever we'd like take him out with us, if we were going out to hang out, like me and my friend, we'd go somewhere and we'd be like, let's bring him. Like, let's make sure he gets walk time in while we hang out. You know, we would always have to deal with that. We always would because he'd be doing his whole thing and someone would be like, oh, what is with this guy? He'd get a lot of weird looks and we'd be like, he's just walking in a circle, he's good. You know, we'd always have to do that. I don't know. He's very nice though, and he's fine. He's never been a danger to others or an issue or anything. Yeah, he's just chilling. He is. And that being said, okay, I'm gonna mention one thing and then we're gonna hop in VC and play a game. Joel is redeemed.
Onahold.com.
I was gonna mention this.
Onahold.com.
I was gonna mention this.
Onahold.com.
I was gonna mention this.
Onahold.com. Sell those on Onahold.com. Onahold.com. Onahold.
Guys.
Onahold. Onahold. Onahold.
Oh, she's been streaming this.
Onahold.com.
He's been streaming his creation of these things.
Come right now. Pocket pussy.
And if you are interested,
Pocket pussy, dude. Oh my god, that was the worst
go
possible time
watch
you could have
him.
rated me. Come.
I love this fucking song, dude.
What the fuck? Onahold.com.
Oh, I love the drop. Oh, I love the drop so much. Anyway, yeah, he's been streaming it, so you can go watch anytime. You can go watch anytime if you want to suggest any, if especially if like I rate someone, some stupid shit happens, or there's like a clip and you're like, yo, use this one. Use this clip. Use this audio. You can make requests. You can indeed. You can indeed. Is Mike the child you were talking about just now that does things that others interpret as concerning but is actually harmless? Yes, indeed. The very same. The very same. Yup. All right. Let's do, let's get Joel in the call. Joel. We'll go here because we're gonna game. We're gonna game, guys. We're gonna play video games.